Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, bringing you a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gameplay commentary, and what you'll be watching in the background here is a tactical nuke, or MGB as it's called in this game. And yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys a nice little MGB action with the STB-556 using a sniper scope on it. And the reason for this is I'm going to get into that today. Real quick, just wanted to say, so one of my friends is actually on the other team. I didn't even though I looked through the list, I didn't even realize he was on the other team. Until he sends a message in game chat asking if it's me, and then he just gives me the lobby after that. Because normally that's what we do, is we'll just like give each other the lobbies that we're on, because it's really pointless to play against each other in ground war, because here's what's going to happen, alright? I'm going to be killing people on his team that, you know, I'm going to get my streaks. He's going to be killing people on my team. He's going to get his streaks, and we're basically just messing with each other's matches and scores. So we usually just don't play against each other in ground war because it's really redundant to do so. But anyways, here we are using the STB-556 with a sniper scope. So why am I using the STB-556 with a sniper scope? Well, the reason is one of you guys asked me a long time ago about optics, and you were asking why I only use 1-time zooms, why I don't really use, if I use 3 times, 4 times, all that kind of jazz. So today, I threw on an 8-time scope on an STB-556, which is basically like using a sniper rifle. And I put it on the STB in particular because, to me, the STB-556 is not that good of a gun for long range, and this is ground war where the ranges are extended, so therefore I don't think this is a good gun at all. Okay, I think this gun is actually trash. And you guys will see that in this gameplay, that it can be a little difficult to track people sometimes up close. And that is the #1 reason why I don't like scopes. It's because your FOV is very, very narrow when you have a scope, which means you're not going to be seeing what is going on around you all that often. On top of that, you're also going to have a harder time switching targets up close, as you're going to have to move your thumbstick a lot more. Also, your recoil pattern is going to seem much heavier than if you were using a 1-time scope, because you have more zoom, which basically means the magnitude of your recoil is going to kind of be higher. And overall, I find that it is just way easier to use a 1-time scope in Call of Duty multiplayer, because on average here, we're killing people in around 4 to 5 shots in ground war, okay? In 6v6, it's usually 3 to 4 because of how the ranges are. But in ground war, 5 to 6 shots, I don't think you need a scope to stay on target that long. Maybe in Warzone I can understand where you gotta put maybe like 12 or so shots into somebody, and it's gonna be much easier to stay on target for longer periods of time. But here in the multiplayer, I think you're just hurting yourself more than you are helping yourself out, and you're not going to be able to adjust your aim quickly enough. You're gonna get taken out a lot easier, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the only people I really ever see using scopes in general are the newbier players. I don't really see good players at all ever using scopes on their gun, and I think it's because all good players know this, that the scopes are going to increase the perceived recoil, they're going to narrow your FOV, and overall they're going to have a lot more downtime than if you just use a 1-times and train your aim with a 1-times, and you'll be able to snap on targets much easier. You'll be able to track targets much easier. You're going to have less perceived recoil, and also something that is very heavy here in Modern Warfare 2 is visual recoil. You have more visual recoil and wobbling and screen shaking when you use a higher magnitude optic. So I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's good, and I just highly advise against using optics in general in the multiplayer. That includes ground war, okay? I still believe so. The only way, alright, I would ever recommend using something like an optic is if you are using a marksman weapon, and that is going to be something like a sniper or a marksman rifle. And even then, a lot of the marksman rifles I still use 1-times optics on. So I really only ever suggest changing your scope if it's a sniper and you want less zoom or more zoom. Right here, by the way, is where me and Jor realize we're in each other's game. He's like, Turtle Hutch. that's how he knows me by. So, you know, because if you guys don't know, my old gamer tag used to be Turtle Dude back in the day. And yeah, he ended up finding out one day. I think I was telling them about it, and that's kind of just a meme now. Everybody just calls me Turtle Dude, and it's just kind of a joke between the friend group, you know. So, but yeah, I pick up my gunship here, and the gunship is, you know, it's what I like to run in Ground War. I don't really run Advanced anymore. I told you guys why yesterday. Basically, DEFCON Central whenever I use Advanced UAV. Would I like to run Advanced UAV? Sure, it makes going for MGBs much easier whenever I'm in the mood to go for an MGB. But to be honest with you guys, like I said, I go for kills on the leaderboards. And in this game, running streaks and stuff to help you get an MGB is kind of pointless if you're trying to go for kills, because the MGBs themselves give you no kills in this game as of right now. It's been like that since launch, so I'm going to assume that's going to be for the rest of the year. So I just don't even care to get MGBs. I think they're pointless, other than just getting a free win or like bragging rights saying I nuked, you know, this lobby or something. But I just really feel that they are just pointless. And that is why I really don't go for them too often. But to further prove my point that, you know, about these scopes and stuff, and I just want to show you guys, yeah, I can use a scope, all right? There's always someone out there that's just weird, you know, and they're always like, oh, you use scopes because it's a skill issue or something, you know, like they're really goofy. All right, bro, you go drop a nuke with a scoped STB then. So yeah, I went ahead and I dropped this MGB with the STB, and you guys will see I get a rotation off. It was actually really slow for me to get this MGB, just because where the main spawns were for the enemy team, they're going to be on top of A and B, and I'm going to go onto this building here where C is, and I'm going to try to overwatch these different spawn points. And really, again, my playstyle in Ground War is just avoiding snipers. I don't look at it as rushing, I don't look at it as camping, I look at it as I'm trying to avoid snipers and lock down an area so I can create flow where people, if they want to come challenge me and they want to come to me, they're going to have to basically, you know, go through obstacles such as proxy mines and all that kind of stuff, because there's so much randomness in a match with 32 players that I try to cut down on the randomness, and I try to create specific flow for me. And right here, if I had a one-time scope, like not even a scope, you know, like a one-times optic, like a reflex, I would have confidently taken these guys out of the sky. But I actually think it's harder to do it with a big range scope, just because the bullet velocity, where you have to aim, is much different in feeling than with a one-times. It's so much easier just to catch aim assist with a one-time scope too, and just absolutely beam somebody, because like I said, you're going to have less recoil, less perceived recoil, all that kind of stuff. So again, I just don't think scopes are good. And I went to the extreme to put 8x on this gameplay, like I said. Unlike some people will use 3 times, 4 times, which is much more realistic. I went to the extreme just to really show you guys, that it's usable, but it's just not that good. Also, the higher zoom you have, the more this perceived recoil and all that kind of stuff you're going to feel. The idle sway is magnified, which is one of the worst things you could possibly have in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, because it's going to add to randomized recoil, or it's going to make it feel like you have randomized recoil, because your gun stays swaying while you are firing. So whichever direction your idle sway is going to start going, you have to also control the recoil in that direction too. And there's a set recoil pattern in this game. So the more you cut down on your idle sway, the easier of a time you're going to have in actually hitting your shots and controlling the actual recoil pattern, and basically killing your enemies in the least amount of bullets possible, which I think is the most important thing anybody can do whenever they are playing this game, is trying to take people out in the least amount of bullets possible, because you never know when another player is going to be coming. You never know when action is going to be happening, and trying to take your enemies out as fast as you can and as accurate as you can is going to make it so you don't have to reload as much. You're going to have enough bullets in your clip to kill people, and overall it is going to make for an easier time on getting higher scores, as well as getting more kills, capping flags, whatever your goals are when you're playing the game. So just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that, and I wanted to make sure that I made a video on this topic within a reasonable time frame as well, considering we're pretty much going through halfway through this game's life cycle now. But anyways, let's talk about Season 3. Season 3 is coming out soon. There's 2 more Ground War maps coming to the game. I am beyond excited to play on some fresh maps. I'm hoping I'm hoping they're really good, because there's a few maps in this game that I just really do not care to play, that being Tarak, Sarif Bay, and sometimes Santa Senya Border Crossing. I just think those maps are bad, in my personal opinion. You know, if you like them, to each their own, but I think they're horrible maps. And the other maps, Saeed, Giharo, this map, and you know, even Airport, I'm starting to not like as much. I told you guys yesterday, just because it's just, there's so many DEF CONs that happen on that map. It's just nobody wants to push up. They all just want to sit in their HQ, and because they're scared to play the game or something. I don't know. It's just, that map is just the most common culprit of that play style, and it gets boring playing that over and over again, where people just don't want to play the flags. They don't want to move up. They don't want to play the map. They just want to sit in HQ. You know, the area where the enemies cannot push you because it's your safe area, and it's so annoying and frustrating to play against, and it creates for really boring matches. And yeah, whenever that map comes up, sometimes I just back out because I already know what's going to happen. Plus, streaks are basically useless on the map. I mean, it's fun to run an advanced UAV and stuff, but what I tell you guys happens whenever I run an advanced UAV. DEF CONs are very common, and I'm not trying to DEF CON. So yeah, honestly, I just haven't been playing Airport as much. I still like the map. I think it's a really good map. I just think that the way the community plays it kind of ruins the map. But yeah, so I'm hoping these maps are more like this one, Zai Observatory, because this is probably the map I get the most excited to see in rotation whenever it comes up, just because it has a variety of playstyles for everything you might want to try to do, and overall the map is pretty compact. You know, rotating between objectives and all that kind of stuff doesn't take forever. It's not a walking simulator. It's a map where there's action. It's a map where there's an actual fight going on, and not people waiting for a pin drop to happen in order to start, you know, hunting for other players. So overall, I really do enjoy this map here, Zai Observatory, and I hope that the new maps are going to be much similar in pacing, flow, and overall the way they play, because like I said, this map just has such a variety in play style, and you can do so much different stuff whenever you're playing on this map. You can basically run any streaks you want. You can run any weapon you want. Everything works on this map because it just feels good for it. And yeah, overall, it's a really well-balanced map. Both sides of the map are also really good. I could play either side of the map, and it feels like there's not a one-sided map. A lot of the maps in this game are very one-sided. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the gameplay. That's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know, do you guys use scopes on your gun? Again, I think they're useless. I think they're horrible. For the multiplayer, I don't think anybody should be running them unless you're using a sniper rifle or one-shot kill weapon. Other than that, yep, it's been great. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Hostiles in the AO!
Buried another one!
Enemy spotted here!
This is Rose! Fire when ready!
Both copy. Jackal 4-1 launching MGB. Time to target 10 seconds.